Thank you very much, MLA, for those words. But you and I are going to meet after this. And before I formally greet the very esteemed guests here this morning, may I first acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Turanga Tuisuba, Waskimbau, and the Vanova Nandonumai. Vinagabalibu na Vinkaraba Vanua, e may Vakadoritico na Matakendai, may Netiko Turanga Nandonumai, Orita Langayan, Oredikim may Natobagarua, Rondele Namako, Nekarosong Bukawalo niya busa ni Rokotin Rikiti, Vatikikim do Talanga, and Tiko ni Roko Malini. May nabukabalibu. Sa totokan din na numdobing garabi. Hindi na bakarita ki beka ni Dotan Tale. E na may bulang do kay tiko na matakenday. Yan ni dobarita ka. Nanum do Wingarabi Bakabanua. E nanon to ito nga bakaturang may Burebasaga salim din na kinabakabinibinaka. Nanito mas sunyon to nakalungat itiko. Liwti ko na nung daw ngulo binaka. Liwti ko na ngulo binaka ni Toki ni Siti Libo Suba. Kena tombal libo. Naiti ko turang may na nandun mo iba na turang na tisuba. Nabas Kimbao. Binakabalibo. My salutations this morning to the Taumoana, Chancellor Reverend Elder, Dr. Leo Tulangi, Falebao, Manufalau, the new Vice Chancellor of the Pasifika Communities University, Reverend Professor Dr. Polwai, esteemed members of the Baltale, this is the University Council, esteemed members of the Pasifika Household of God, distinguished guests, students, past and present. We are gathered here today to witness this watershed and historic moment in the life, as we have heard from our new Vice Chancellor, in the life of the mother, the Pacific Theological College, PTC, as it births the Pasifika Communities University. This is a profound shift in identity from the birthing of the mother to the child, as we heard this morning, the purpose and the vision, one that echoes the hopes and aspirations of Pasifika peoples across oceans and generations. It is indeed a great honor for me, coming from the Matentu Vanua of Burebasaga, the traditional leader of the Vanua, where we are gathered, and where the corridors of this university stand, to be here as we join together to launch the new PCU. Before this moment passes, however, let us commend you for all the prayers, the fasting, begging God for this blessing on today's program, the beautiful weather that we have, the guests, the traditional welcome, the PTC staff that have just been acknowledged. Let us also celebrate and honor the legacy of 6 decades of theological leadership, advocacy, and education grounded in values and visions of Pasifika. From when PTC was established in 1965, I was a student across the road there at Corpus Christi Teachers College. When PTC was established in 1965, as the first religious and secular educational institution to offer internationally accepted degree studies in the Pacific region. PTC has delivered many educated church and national leaders and scholars in the Pacific. Indeed, there are those who led their countries through to independence. From the late Ratu Sir Kamisei Samara, the Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare, to Awhionga, Tui Atua Tupoa Tamasese Efi, from the late Reverend Dr. Amanaki Havea, to the late Reverend Dr. Ilaitia Tuere, from the late Miss Amelia Rokutuibuna to Mrs. Suliana Siwatimbao. The churches educated, nurtured, molded, and gave the region and the world men and women of character, statesmen and stateswomen, not just politicians, to be mindful of the life and identity of our people and our islands. That is the purpose and character of the Pacific Theological College when started in 1965, and the region through that was indeed blessed. It can be concluded that PTC has fulfilled the vision of its founders who met in Malua, Samoa in 1961 and agreed to set up an institution to provide theologian training to the Pacific churches. In 2010, as we have heard, the then PTC Council made a resolution for the college to begin transitioning to university. This mandate was revived again during the council meeting in 2019. And PTC, under the leadership of Reverend Professor Dr. Upolova Ai, began the transitional arrangements, starting with guiding strategies of the Strategic Plan 2020 to 2025. Therefore, this launch today is a celebration of resilience, creativity, and transformation. It captures the spirit of the Pasifika household of God, uplifting the voices and reflecting on the footprints of past and present leaders, alumni, students, partners, families, and others who have shaped and been shaped by this institution. And from its early days, as a bold ecumenical experiment to a regionally respected institution of higher learning, PTC has continuously evolved, challenging colonial paradigms and forging a uniquely Pasifika pathway rooted in justice, relationality, and the way of life and the whole of life philosophy. The journey of decolonization and theological innovation, charting a bolder new course for PCU, or the Pacific Communities University, grounded in indigenous knowledge, faith, and the interconnectedness of all creation, and envisioning a future where the sound education of our future generations is assured to preserve our faith and Pasifika spiritual values, has started. The PCU seeks to preserve the heart of our Pasifika people by offering a deeper, more holistic, balanced, inclusive, communities-based, forward-looking, and discourse-changing educational scholarship that offers an authentic and visionary pathway to a new development paradigm that strengthens the Pacific region. It is indeed a much welcomed aspiration and realization that the Pasifika Communities University will not be just another university, but a university focused on creating a new transformative, inclusive learning framework and platform to become an agent of change, integrating communities' philosophies, cultures, and spiritualities aligned to our Pasifika way of life and being. And today, the Pasifika Household of God, under the Pasifika Ecumenical Communities, has reached another milestone of its journey and chapter, with the commencement of this first regional university of the Pasifika Churches, the Pasifika Communities University, which is home for a new transformative, whole-of-life, communities-based education. We should be inspired by the courage of those who have gone before us, and those who are here now, leading us further into the future. Pasifika Communities University, the child that we have heard from the new Vice Chancellor, from the bachelor program, the master's, the doctorate, and now as a university, the Pasifika Communities University stands as a beacon of hope and a prophetic voice for our regions and the world, for our region and the world. It is now my pleasure and honor to push the PCU canoe back into the moana after 60 years of transforming the old tried and tested PTC canoe to forge ahead on a new voyage as PCU with the current waves and winds on her tail, sailing further into the future. May PCU dance to the generous rhythm of the moana, dance in company with waves over the horizons, waves that follow one another, unceasing, relentless, embracing with the ebb and flow of each tide. In joining the PCU voyage, may our Pasifika peoples find ourselves again in the rhythm of nature, the call of the wild, the pulsating heartbeat of our dreams, in the intimacy of interconnectivity and forged relationship between us as we sail into the winds of change of tomorrow. And in conclusion, we ask the God Almighty to grant the Pasifika Communities University Waka a safe and far-reaching voyage. And it is with great pleasure and a humble privilege for me as Rokotindo Keti of the Matentubo of Burebasaga to launch and declare the new Pasifika Communities University open.
Boleh saya cukup na tuku waturang. Na tuku ni nunggu na waturang yang bermusang. No cukup na waturang na marambal tu deket na turang ni pun. Masara boleh buna bi bukan jitek. Masara boleh buna kira bukan jitek sekarang na bunua. Makira na boleh buna Pasifika. Kami tahu sekarang na ingay bo na Pasifika Communities University. Ingkang kasa kecukup. Sekarang buna bermusang. Jadi rasa cuba orang, tunggu tanah bola mana? Hey, dina.
In Singapore, mana Pacific Theological College, sa Pasifika Community University. Eranda mena kena biluta ki beresa na ngoni turang na tui Samoa. Mai na bonu ai kumbuna beresa na ngoni turang na buni balu na tui Kamba. Nangku balle bu Burebasaga beresa na ngoni marambal na rotin rekeci na buni balu. Kena maten tungganga dobela maneba na tobata. Singandai Ento na singa tala ikibe kenda, na buku sa kanina muni aray da sa katsumai. Me bango na kena irai na numunia lolo baka masula katiko. Me rere binaka sa katiko. Na kena ndewa sa kamay kina taikan dua, kina taikongo. Kali bu kina nababi na binaka na non marambal na roko tinriketi. Sa usama tatabora kina ito na besua kalaylay. Gosa ka na siyabu banua. Siyabu sa kamay balilebu. Na non sa kanangon marambal na roko tinriketi na bunibalu. Babi na binaka sa kina bakalebu. Na ichiko baka turanga. May biro sa kanangon turanga na tuisuba. Na nomuni suletu na nomuni dalan di banua. Na kena bay bunikau. Na dangi bay liwaya kina kena lomalangi. Kena wai tui. Meda mai so bebe. Isole tu na singandai. Sulia bay kenta ng bula bautale. Kina soko tiko nga. Kina wasa-wasa. Sa tuya matanda. Sa nita kisakatsi kina namun raw biding gomi. Ni nabunga sakatsi kina na bay mga na binaka. Sa tuya matamun raw. Bunga sa katalutinga na bay na binaka. Nembalata sakatsi ko na korini bulibo. Na Pasifika Community College. Kung ano sa pabi na binakina baka lebu. Nang ano marambal ko tinriketsi na singantay. Non ray sebu sama itambo sa katsiko. Na buku sa nga ni non tantu tsumay na naman robanua. Na naman ron deli banua. May garabi kina na itabi. Balam-balam sa katsikina na boss niya ko na sebu. Asosora gitu hindi baka turanga. Ina banua. Ina tulumay ber sa kanang turanga na roto isuba. Napas kibaw. Inalaman ni University mo sa may tangkat ko na singantay. Pasifika Communities University. Kena iliw-liw. Pero sa kanang turang na tuy Samoa. Kena muriatu.
Raisa cengna ngona bulu bina sa nang marambal tinriketi ndabat sin lolo mani kalo ambagi bina sa ni bengarap sa tu sama tanda ondo lilu tamon tiwana karisto ana kadi bisa cengna ngona bo turang ni sip ni bunua ni sip bo turang Era turang sa cemai nunggu balebu. Burebasaga non ritu sa ngona marambal rutin riketi na bunibalu. Wadan ber sa cina menrobos na ngona na sebu ba turang. Sa dambe ba turang sa cina Pasifika Community University. Samua non ro tiu sa ngona turang na tu Samoa. Delin so ba turang. Namdu mai non ritu sa ngona turang tu Suba. May dabut sa tiyan na po sinibaga binibinakalebu. Na singalo binakandinday. Ang nararamin na po sa turang ni Sabanga no nakakita nga. Nasa lebu na biba turang ataki. O sulumi sa tiyan na bunuan na kene itoba na kene balabala. Ang rumbutu ko sa tiyan na munrundal ni Soso. Ang rumisip sa tiyan dal na bunuan sa kalebu na baga binibinaka. Binaka sa lebu na biba turang ataki. Na biba kami na biba bunuan. Nabu alub sar ken bo sulmi sochigo nabu bale na ken itob na ken balbala sa tan be satun mun rubo sina ko ne lang bon kalombula o khonan doni buku na doni lawa o khondu sulebi ken na baga yong ken be bakalunga taki men sombu ti no na mana ken saw na ulu sani belu taki do kolonga tsega no ngan barambal rutindiketi kolonga tsati ko na Pasifika Community University ro kolonga tsega no turanga no ti Samoa de dem bu sa ti no kula nin rotini no bonwa Tabakalu tiga be coba mendabula nanda liu tamu di tiwana Karisto. Gina obura amdo do nasaga.
Pagaturanga sa katsiko na chiko pagaturanga yung Burebasaga na ngani maramambal na rotiliketi na turang na buniwalo. Sandina na wasa kaya. Sa sangana nona lolomba indona tamata mi uosibita kina kaungo. Mi sulia na nona mbula na bukundra na wakana. Ni bita saka cukumai ni cukup baga turanga. Menga ngarabi saka indona itabi. Ena puno sakongo kemi sata but saka na baga penak. Mamikilani uni maramososo. Ya sabakai uni reda daki ni bimbi cukungana tomata. Ni mai ngarabo indona daka. Daka sa sangolangan ni baliti subo sambaleta na Pasifika kena bura-bura raramba. Sa mai ngarabo cina katu doko. Sulia bata mana kalau na kenan raki. Me toko na ni sa bakalu na nonde ciko. Sa labi sa kamatamun rawu indona sa kana kamunanga. Kemenangan sama tat sakal bikin merau na turangan merama sa demili mua baga turanga batali sa kanang gay mai ni sigani kuwa ki mam santoka karoko bone olo baga turanga san ratan lemo menrau mai ciku bagalaka na songo ni kena mai tabodi ana gay bau ana buno sakongo tata sa kana kemenangan sa nora kamunang sa Pasifika Communities University na kanabilo taki may Samoa nangon turang ito Samoa sa nora kamunang talanganan dili sosoba o turanga yung durmay nangon turanga na rogo tisuba sa itataw nagi sa kachuko ni Beokani kapag aramani tang Italiani misano itaka lindro na tubo raw sa katiko kaya naman karabi oira nangon rahuni raramu chiko ng tutubo na ibichi ka na Pasifika sambala mo sa kana kena bosa Tambe bawa turanga sa kanay cukup bawa turanga. Imbur pasangan nangoni marambal na roti leketi turanga na buni balo. Kena mur lewatu.
Kemenangan baga turanga baga tokai sa katiko may kemenangan ni baga tali. Sa ating kami sa katiki na kemenangan na baga binibinaka. Na yalo endoka. Na kinabaga itikitiko na boliu ditiko ni kalo. Dari toka na kena irai na singa endai. Nandraki na vi bosa kede endarongoda. Na bosa ni tumbe, na bosa ni tingomi, na rongo binaka ni Vuikaba toko may barite kitiko ni kwe, barite kitiko na libni masu. Kena lolo, sa tiko ni lomalangi may bati kinangona keniriray. Sa andola kitikina na kemenangan may sumbo may na kena biba kalongat taki. Kalongat tiko na Pasifika Communities University. Kalongat tiko na turang na ti Samoa. Kalongat tiko na iran na may bagay tabi. Na ni University bo. Na bi tambana kede na bi ngarabiti kina. May kalongat tal tiko nga na tiko ba turang may nandunumay. Wana turang na ti Suba. Was kimbao. Pat kay kimni kede na lingan ni Suway. Kinabanua. Kanon delili ba tiko mandangay kinochoba mendambula.
Awa kadibasaga cikumandangan kamunanga. Kamunanga na batu ni Banua. Batu ni Banua kena bosa rongo binanga sa tau rongo sa kacingumai. Ena lama ni kornibuli ni Pasifika Communities University. Vera sa kana kena iliu nangon turang na tui Samoa. Sa tambe baka turang tal cingamai nan ina Banua. Nan dolumai vera sa nangon turang na rogo tui Suba na baskimbau. Tambe na nomro kamunanga na kena yalo na kena bosa. Inogu balilebu. Burebasaga Beresaga nongan marambal na rotin rikeci. Kamu nanga na bakatale bakaturanga. Rosa bakatala di kera unanga inga maya na matakan singendai. Kerombo na nume kerombo toko talamanta bakalelai. Sesemberi kerombo tatau. Iya sa bakanga na keni bakarau na binto kontok kain bi roko bitiko bekem dau. Indo kelabe na kasaka chiko na ngon marambal na rotin rikeci. Na chiko de me ballebu. Rosa bakatale takateko tiko. Sanga ni tugo ni nangai sana le sukara katal chiko mai. Na bukuni tabi chiko na lomni korni bulbi na kango. Salah beda kesakilang me sombay kan biba kalau ngataki. Kalau ngata sigo tang nandela ni Banua. Kalau ngata sigo na korni buli na Pasifika Communities University. Kalau ngat saka sigo na kontura na rotu isuba. Balabu saka sigo na bengaw na binaka na buku saka sigo na tanggara manay tabi. Alay tumbu saka sigo na takata ni kalau mana. Tinatam sa kani. Kamu nakasa waliu. Hey, dosa, doa, amdo, nasaka.
The Vanua has just presented the kamunanga ay wakatale ay mbilinimua. In traditional custom, once a chief has arrived, has received by the people, before the chief leaves, the Vanua bids her farewell. But as her herald has mentioned, they will receive the kamunanga, although she will be here for a while. But as in Fijian protocol, she may leave at some point, but the traditional protocol has been accorded her to thank her for her presence. Our Vice-Chancellor, Manufolau, will now add to thanking our chief guest.
One of the dynamics of our traditions in the Pacific is that we don't rush them, simply because of the relationships that we might fracture or violate, and that is why we honor the Vanua this morning in all this traditional welcome. Madam, we have a proverb from my culture that I don't want to double up with the acknowledgement that was already done by the Vanua. So therefore, I would say that I will sail together in the canoe that the Vanua has already charted, with acknowledging you as our chief guest today, and also being part of this occasion. But let me just say something in Samoa because it's more genuine if I do that. Tu lau fionga ile alaunga na ami. Ai avea we whai masui o le pa ia o poto le nei aso. E mo moli le whaaftei tele mai le taele o mātou loto. E a fua mai le taitai o le vatele. Whapea foi i le pulenga o le nei universite ona o le whaaloalo o e maau ia i le nei tae ao e ala i le launga. Whaaftai mo whamanuianga, whaaftai mo whamanuianga mo le universite, o le a mātou le masalusalo, o le mātou te talo, ia maua le soifo maua i lau fionga i le launga na ami, ia me se fuanga o le nei aso, ia te toe tō manu mai le tua a wai whamanuianga. Now, that's completed. So I would now like to take this opportunity to present a very humble gift from the university. I know you already have multiple tanoas. Wait, multiple tanoas. But this is different. I'm not sure if you have ever launched a regional university before. This is probably the first university that you have launched. And that is why it's different. Let alone, it's a university that belongs and owned by the Pacific churches. So we are humbled to have you. So we present this tano as a gift, as a symbol of unity of the Vanua and the Lotu, so that we'll always be there together to drive this transformative education that we have in the vision. This is the tanoa that will be presented to the Taumoana, and we would like to ask the Taumoana to present it to you. But now, it's been presented by my wife first. Wait. Wait. Yeah. The highest of gifts in my culture, that's from Fiji. The tanoa is from Fiji. But now, the highest of gift from my culture is the ietonga, the fine mat. And we don't just spread the fine mat for any occasion, and especially this kind of fine mats. It's the finest of those without value. We have multiple fine mats. This is different because it's an invaluable mat. We call it sometimes the mat of life or the cover of life. We also call it sometimes the mat of forgiveness. Both we would need from you, madam, as the head of the Confederacy that the PCU is situated on. And we ask that may you pray for the life of PCU and support us. And secondly, we ask for forgiveness in whatever we may do wrong and had done wrong in the last 60 years. This, of course, we ask for that. But this is for you, madam. Nakavalevu, for honoring us today. Please give it to the Taumoana, and the Taumoana will present it to